In this video, we will look at data privacy. So when we talk about privacy, there are three aspects related to it. One is the protection of personal information from unauthorized access. And the second aspect is the freedom to choose who can view our personal information. That is another aspect of privacy. And the third aspect of privacy is protection of our anonymity, or we can say protection from being observed, monitored without our knowledge or consent. So there are different types of information that qualifies as personal information. We have personally identifiable information or PII. We have personal health information or PHI. And we have educational records of students. And we also have information related to minor children. So what is a PII? PII is an information that is used to uniquely identify a person. A person's name, his date of birth, his address information, all these things can be used to identify a person. In addition to this, a person's ID details like passport number, a driving license number, with all these information, it is used to uniquely identify a person. Apart from that, financial information like account number, credit card number, debit card number, all these information can also be used to uniquely identify a person. Personal health information is the information related to the health of a person. The details regarding his disease or disease related diagnosis information, information related to the medicines that a person is using, anything that is related to a person's health is considered to be a personal health information. So PII and PHI are considered as personal information under majority of privacy laws. Only certain specific laws consider educational records and information related to minor children as personal information. So we talked about protecting personal information. Now, what is meant by protecting personal information? So that can be understood by understanding privacy principles. So if privacy principles are applied to our personal information, then we say privacy is there for the personal information. If any of the aspects of privacy principles are violated for our personal information, then we say the privacy of our information is violated. So, under privacy principles, there are different concepts like notice, choice, purpose limitation, transfer, security, access, and reporting. All these things has to be implemented for our personal information to say that the privacy of our personal information is protected. So let us see each of these concepts one by one. Notice means when we are collecting personal information from someone, we have to tell them why that personal information is being collected. And the concept of choice says the person from whom we are collecting privacy information, they should have an option either to give the information or not give the information. Purpose limitation states that the information that we are collecting should be used only for the stated purpose, which means when we are collecting information from people, we tell them that the information is being collected for a particular purpose. We should use that information only for that purpose and it should not be used for anything else. According to the principle of transfer, when we are sharing information with the third party, that is, the information that we have collected from a customer, the personal information that we have collected, if we are transferring it to a third party, we have to get the permission of the customer first. Only then we have to transfer it. And the third party to whom we are transferring the information, they also have to follow the privacy principle. The next principle is security. So security, we have already seen what is meant by security. Protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. So here we are talking about protecting the CIA of personal information. So we have to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of personal information that we have collected from end users. The principle of access states that end users or the customers from whom we have collected the personal information, they should have access to their personal information. They should be able to view it. They should be able to modify it, and they should be able to delete it if they feel it should no longer be there in our system. And the last aspect is reporting. We have collected personal information from customers, and let us say accidentally this information was lost from our end. If this information is lost, this information goes into the hands of a third party maybe, and the third party will have now access to the personal information of our customers. Now we have a data breach. When there is a data breach, when there is a disclosure of information in this manner, we have to inform the customer regarding this. Not only we have to inform the customer with respect to the relevant laws, we may even have to report to the relevant government bodies as well as industry bodies. So there are many laws and regulations that are enacted by governments, industry bodies, government bodies, etc., in order to protect the personal information of users, like GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS, etc. Now, certain privacy laws, they cover personal information across all industries, and certain privacy laws, they will focus on protecting personal information in a specific sector. For example, HIPAA is related to health information, and PCI DSS is related to credit card and debit card information, which qualifies as a PII. Now, there is also something called as employee privacy. Normally, organizations have two types of users. They have their customers and clients, and they have employees. Now, organizations may monitor the performance of employees. When monitoring the performance of employees, there are certain privacy aspects that has to be followed. That comes under employee privacy aspects. So the first thing is, if organizations have to monitor their employees, organizations have to inform them that their activities will be monitored, and it will be normally captured as a part of the employment contract. The second aspect is, when monitoring is being done, all employees should be monitored or no employees should be monitored. Selective monitoring is not allowed under most of the matured legal systems. And the next aspect is, when employees are being monitored, only their work related activities should be monitored. Their personal aspects or their personal activities should not be monitored. So these are some of the essential aspects related to employee monitoring and employee privacy. So these concepts that we have discussed here, it has to be followed. The next aspect is end user privacy. We use internet on a regular basis. We browse the internet using browsers, and we use social media platforms to connect with others. We browse the internet on a regular basis, and we use social media platforms to connect with others. And when we are connecting with others and when we are using browsers, many information will be shared, and some of these information may be personal information. And if our personal information is shared with untrusted third parties, that is a violation of our privacy requirements and it may be misused by a third party. So, in order to protect our privacy while we are online, we have to be careful about certain things. First of all, we have to use neutral identities while we are online because we do not want to reveal our actual identity to others. So, we will use something like avatars. Then, the browsers that we are using, the social media platforms that we are using, there we will enable privacy settings. By default, privacy settings will not be enabled. We have to enable it so that we can control to whom we can share our information and who can see our information. After that, the information that we are sharing on the social media, it has to be controlled. So personal information related to us or privacy information should only be shared with trusted people that we have on the social media. Everyone should not be able to view such kind of personal information. And another aspect is whenever we are using browsers and whenever we are using social media platforms, disable the option to save any information, including passwords. Because if you save information, it is possible that others can also use it and it might be disclosed. So these are some of the essential aspects related to protecting our privacy when we are online. So I hope what we have discussed in this video is clear to you. Thank you all for watching this video.